Hey YouTube, it's Grace, and in this video I'll be showing you how I made this painting right here. This is actually the second time I've painted this design, but it turned out pretty different from the first time, so I decided to make a video on it anyways. And as always, if you're interested in commissioning me or seeing any of my other art, check out my Instagram. I post lots of stuff on there all the time. But without further ado, here is how I made this painting. This is the canvas I'll be painting in this video. It is a 12 by 24, and this is the painting that I'll be making, and it is a 32 by 64. So the way I get the size of each pixel is by doing 24 inches divided by 64 pixels, and then also doing 12 inches divided by 32 pixels, and that gives me this number here. So that is the size of each pixel. Now that the grid is done, I'm just going to go over it with a thin layer of primer, just to make sure that once I start actually painting that the pencil doesn't smear. I just need to give this a few hours to dry, and then I can start on the border. For the border, I'll be using this color here, and I finally got little containers to keep my paint in. I used to put it on plates and then freeze it, but now I don't have to do that. I'm going to start by painting the grass here, and for that I'm mixing up a dark green, a medium green, and a yellowish green, and these are all the paints I use for that. Before I do that, I'm doing the top corner, which is black, so I count how many over and down, and then I just make an outline, and then I'll fill that in. And now I'm just going to repeat that process with all the other colors I've mixed. Okay, I let this dry overnight, and now I'm going to finish the first coat. I'm going to start with this gray in the background here. And I mixed it sort of an orangish gray just so that it would blend with the background a little bit better. And I just went ahead and made the outline just using the same method that I always do, and now I'm just going to fill that in. For the orange bit in the sky, I'm going to start by dividing it into two colors of sort of like a dark orange and then like an orangish yellow just for the first coat, and then I'll add more details later on. This is the dark orange I mixed, and once again, just using the same process, I'm making an outline and then just painting inside of it. And then this is my orangish yellow, so I'm just going to go in and fill in around that. And then once the first coat is done, I can add a whole bunch of blending colors in this area and it'll look way better. Next up is this blue part of the sky, and on my screen it looks more blue, but in person it looks kind of like a bluish purple. So I mixed this color here, and I'm also going to use it for the light blue on this guy here. Next, I'm going to do this dark blue for him, and then this little bit here. And I just made this color by mixing these two, and as you can see, I did a little bit of painting off camera. I just did the blue and the yellow and a little bit of purple, because this corner in the sky has quite a lot of colors in it. Now I'm going to fill in the whites and the skin tones, and I ran into a little bit of a problem because this is pretty much out. So I mixed it with a little bit of this one, but this white is really thin, so I'm hoping that the quality doesn't tank, because the place that I get my actual decent paint is like 45 minutes away and there's nowhere closer. I've been painting with the white for a little bit, and I think I finished the first coat, and it's looking a little thin, but honestly not that bad. Not nearly as bad as I feared, so I think I'll just add an extra coat and it'll be okay. Alright, so I actually forgot to film the rest of the first coat, but I was pretty much done at that last clip, so this is what we're at so far. And for the second coat, I'm just going to be going over and filling it in, because you can see the paint is pretty thin, and I might just correct some of the colors a little bit, but I'm not really going to focus on details until after. I just finished the second coat, and this is how it's looking compared to the reference. As you can see, the colors are a lot more solid this time. as compared to the first coat, but I'm just going to let this dry overnight and then start on all the details. To start off the details, I'm going to do this corner here, and what I did was I just mixed a color that was in between these two, and that is where I'm going to start. And now I just mixed a darker green, and I'm using that to sort of add details on this part. And I might even use it to add like a lighter detail of the black, but I'm not sure yet. I actually ended up mixing a way darker green, sort of to make the sky look a little more pixely. I just took the green that I was using for this shade and then just added more black to it. And next I'm doing this bottom sort of yellow piece, and for that I just mixed an even lighter yellow, so that is what I'm going to add the pixels for that. And now I'm going to do this light green here, so I just mixed a greenish yellow that is slightly lighter than this one. I am pretty happy with how this is looking so far. So next on my list is blending the background. So I'm starting with the gray and like the orangish brown. So I just mixed them together in equal parts and I came up with this color here. I think that blended the two pretty well. And now I'm going to do the gray. So I just started with this gray color and then added a little bit of the brown to it. The next colors I'll be blending is the yellow and then the orangish brown, which I feel like is going to be a little bit harder, but just to start, I mixed this orange. This is definitely going to need a second coat, but while it's drying, I mixed another transition color just so that this one is a little less harsh. I just did 2 coats of both oranges and I think that looks a million times better. So next I'm going to work on the blues here. I'm going to blend the dark and light blue, and then here I'm going to blend the blue and the purple. And I'm using the same process as before, so I'm just taking the colors and mixing them together to get one that's in between, and I'll do the same thing here. So I blended these, and then off camera I also did the dark grays again because those needed another coat. But I think we're actually getting pretty close to done. All that I really need to do is kind of redo this orange here and then add like a pinkish kind of tint to it. Okay, other than the border, I think I only really have one more thing to do, which is go in and add these little orange pixels, which I'm noticing everywhere, which I have not added yet. So this is it pretty much done. I just need to wait for it to dry and do any final touch-ups that I decide on, but I will see you once it is completely done. And here it is, completely finished. I am really happy with the results and I think it turned out super cool. I'm also really happy because since this was the second time I'm doing this painting, I kind of already had a good idea of like the colors and how to mix everything, so it ended up going a lot faster. But I think that concludes this video, so thank you for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. As always, if you have any suggestions for future videos or other paintings you want me to make, either comment below or DM me on Instagram and I will take the time to read them. And a little announcement, I think I'm going to be expanding my content just a little bit just to kind of try some new things out. So the next video I'm posting will be an original painting, which I'm really excited about, but I just wanted to let you guys know. The Minecraft content is definitely not going away anytime soon. I just kind of needed to expand a little bit to avoid burnout. But that is it for this video, so I hope to see you in my next one. Bye!